From a cat saving the life of a little boy ferociously attacked by a dog to a monkey on a motorcycle trying to kidnap a child on the street, here's how these people were trained by pets. Do you think cats are indifferent and only think about themselves? Well, think again. The one you are introduced to today is a real hero. Filmed by a surveillance camera, the scene, which takes place in China, shows a baby playing near its cradle. In the distance, the family cat is watching him out of the corner of his eye. However, at some point, the baby starts crawling up the stairs of the house. All of a sudden, the cat jumped on the baby and pushed him in the opposite direction to stop him from moving forward. The baby stopped dead in its tracks and avoided the worst thanks to the family pet. Today, many internet users congratulate the cat for his heroic act, but some of them feel rather that the cat simply wanted to play with the baby, diverting the child from danger at the same time. It would therefore be a happy coincidence. However, several internet users took the opportunity to criticize the parents for leaving a baby alone near the stairs. And one must say that it is not wrong. Has the elephant become man's best friend? At least that's what a video showing a baby elephant jumping into the river to save a man from drowning suggests. Indeed, while he and his fellow elephants were near the river, the baby elephant saw a man named Derek Thompson being swept away by a strong current. Without hesitating a second, the young mastodon, called Calm Law, jumped into the water to help him. Once arrived at his level, the baby elephant presents him his trunk so that the man can hold onto it, then he brings him back to the shore. This is undeniably a beautiful moment of complicity between man and animal. However, this incredible rescue, which took place in a nature reserve in Thailand, was actually an exercise developed by Derek Thompson, co-founder of the Save Elephant Foundation. He simply wanted to test the reflexes of Calm Law. And it must be said that he got the most beautiful response from the animal. This way he can be sure of his unfailing support. Moreover, the feat of this young pachyderm has moved many internet users. The video was even viewed by nearly 18 million people. After all, this action proves how elephants can nurture a real attachment to humans. And by the way, if you like this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all the notifications, and don't miss anything in our next videos. Let's go again. This child can thank his guardian angel. And with good reason. While he was in a park with his family, the child had strayed slightly from his loved ones. At that moment, a man approached the young boy in an attempt to kidnap him, but it was a heroic dog who stopped him. No sooner had the man approached the child than a dog threw itself ferociously at him, leaving the child's family members speechless. Thus, faced with the multiple bites of the canine, the kidnapper had no choice but to give in. As for the child, he is fortunately doing very well. No doubt the child's parents must be delighted that the dog intervened in time. In May 2014, an extraordinary scene took place. On the images captured by a surveillance camera, we can see Jeremy, a 4-year-old child, sitting peacefully on his bike when the neighbor's dog appeared out of nowhere before brutally attacking him in the calves and dragging him on the ground. This attack could very well have ended badly. Fortunately, the family's cat, Tara, quickly intervened like a superhero. The feline rushed at the dog, chased him, and even managed to scare him away. Moments later, Jeremy's mom came to the rescue as well. His son, who had a leg injury, then got out of it with a few stitches. But since then Tara has become a real celebrity. He was even rewarded with the Medal of Honor from the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, an animal protection organization in Los Angeles. Madeline Bernstein, president of the organization, said, "We were so impressed with Tara's bravery and quick action that the selection committee decided that such a spectacular cat should receive the National Hero Dog. And we have to say it is well deserved." In 2016, a 3-year-old boy crawled through a fence that enclosed a gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo in the eastern United States. Unfortunately, he accidentally fell into a ditch. At that moment, a 17-year-old gorilla, weighing over 180 kilograms, caught the screaming little boy before dragging him around his habitat. According to one of the witnesses, the gorilla did not seem threatening but ended up getting excited by the shouts of the visitors. However, 10 minutes after the boy entered the enclosure, the zoo's dangerous animal response team was forced to shoot the gorilla. Why? Well, according to Thane Maynard, the director of the zoo, administering a tranquilizer with an injection rifle would not have had an immediate effect. It would have actually left the child in a critical situation. The only solution that presented itself to the zoo's special intervention team was to kill the animal to save the child's life. Following the incident, he was hospitalized for various injuries, but his life was not in danger. Elephants are often considered to be relatively quiet animals. Confrontations with humans are in this sense quite rare provided that the latter know how to be discreet. The group of tourists in this video were obviously not quite enough, or their assailant was particularly loud that day. In any case, the tourists were visiting Chobe National Park in Botswana when an elephant violently loaded the vehicle they were in. At this point, the Jeep driver attempted to move away, but the pachyderm overtook him and struck the back of the car several times. It is only when one of its tusks breaks that the elephant decides to give up the chase. It must be recognized that sometimes wild animals can display violent behavior when they feel threatened. If you thought kangaroos were harmless, then what you're about to see now may well change your mind. A man was playing golf quietly when a kangaroo suddenly started chasing him and attacking him. To defend himself, the golfer hit the animal with the club twice. However, the man gave in to the ferocity of the marsupial and ended up on the ground, beaten by the kangaroo. At this point, the video was abruptly cut, but one can imagine that the man continued to struggle to get out of it. Nevertheless, if the other golfer who accompanied him had remained helpless in the face of such a situation, the man was fortunately saved thanks to the intervention of a golf cart which loaded the animal, forcing it to retreat. This saved him from serious injury. The golfer was therefore very lucky. Now here's an attempted kidnapping like you've rarely seen. In a video broadcast on social networks in May 2020 and widely relayed on Twitter, we can see a scene as surreal as it is frightening. Indeed, the images show a monkey on a mini motorcycle speeding down an alleyway. Suddenly, the monkey lets go of his bike before approaching a woman and a group of children who were playing on a bench. After that, the monkey decides to jump violently on one of them and tries to kidnap him, and he would have missed little for the primate to succeed. The reason? Well, the monkey dragged the girl on her stomach for several meters, grabbing her by the t-shirt. Luckily, the intervention of a passerby caused the monkey to release his prey and flee. More fear than harm for the child, who seems to have escaped unharmed. Nevertheless, she is undoubtedly traumatized by this violent attack. Moreover, at the end of the video, we can see that she did not stay 1 minute longer on the scene. Just after the shock, the child ran towards her family. It is well known that lions have unpredictable behavior, and this video will certainly not prove you wrong. Indeed, during the Mexican show Con Celo de Mujer, a young lion was present on the television set. However, not everything went as planned. Far from it. The feline, probably embarrassed by the gestures of a little girl sitting on her mother's lap, decided to attack her life. After staring at her for quite some time, the cub suddenly tried to bite the child by grabbing her leg and pulling her towards him. At that moment, a general panic set in on the set. Terrified, the little girl obviously burst into tears. As for her mother, she kept smiling and did not give in to panic, despite the violent attack. This is remarkable, to say the least. Fortunately, the trainers of the cat, also present in the show, reacted very quickly to extract the child from the animal's claws. Thus, they first asked the little girl to calm down so as not to excite the lion cub anymore. Then they managed in a few seconds to separate the animal from the child who, quite naturally, was still in shock. After all, this Mexican show could have turned into a drama without the intervention of professionals. At the Kaliningrad Zoo in Russia, a scene of rare violence occurred. A caretaker was bringing food to a 16-year-old tiger when the tiger threw itself at her. A door had indeed been left open by mistake, allowing the animal to sneak in and ferociously attack the woman, before the eyes of the stunned visitors. Some of them then decided to react. They threw stones at the cat to try to keep it away from its prey. Several people threw all kinds of objects towards the enclosure, while others shouted to try to distract the predator and help the caretaker take refuge in a safe place. Meanwhile, visitors also took the opportunity to capture images of this incredible incident. But after a few seconds, probably endless for the woman who was attacked by the tiger, zoo employees finally intervened to calm the feline. Following this, the caretaker was immediately taken to the hospital. She was in critical condition, but fortunately, her life was not in danger. However, one still wonders why the animal had tried to kill the person who came to feed it. According to the zoo spokesman, the tiger had reacted by instinct, probably wanting to defend its territory. Moreover, this was the first attack of its kind in the Kaliningrad Zoo. In 2016, a visit to the Beijing Badaling Wildlife Zoo turned into a drama. In this zoo, located in Beijing, visitors tend to admire the wild animals from their cars and are not allowed to go out. However, two women did not respect this rule. Indeed, in a video that has gone viral, we can see one of the two women getting out of the vehicle after a family argument. It was then that a tiger in the park immediately spotted her before attacking her and dragging her violently on the ground. Faced with such a situation, the driver jumped out of the vehicle to rescue her and a third passenger, none other than the mother of the young woman who had been carried away by the animal. Unfortunately, the latter would have been better off staying in the cockpit because she was the target of a completely different tiger that killed her before taking her body away. As for her daughter, she escaped alive but with serious injuries. This is undoubtedly a scene as shocking as it is upsetting. Now it's your turn to tell us in comments which of these videos surprised you the most. Do you know of other times when people have been trained by animals? Feel free to share them with us.